Hello, everyone.
Morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Excited to be here. Look at all these people in the audience. This will be a great experiment today. We're doing our first AMA, Townstar AMA on Twitter Spaces. It should be fun.
Good morning.
Oh, you guys all sound different on Spaces than you do on Discord.
I don't have a fancy mic.
Okay, let me get up. I'm also gonna get up my Discord so I can be looking for people posting questions there.
I have arrived. Mysterious.
Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Salutations, everyone.
Oh, here's
Oh,
Bitbender.
man.
Yay.
I'm here. Let me see if I can get the main account in here as well. How's everyone doing today?
I'll start it off.
Right.
Very good.
Awesome. Trying to navigate our first Twitter Spaces AMA.
What
God.
was that? Was that a cow? Was that a cow?
Hey,
That was
it's
ridiculous.
The Townstar team. I had to.
That's ridiculous. Okay.
We've really leveled up at the Twitter Spaces here with the extra noises.
We don't need extra noises.
Need was never the
Need?
thought.
That's fair. Okay. Let me get this out here.
Oh, Discord. We're seeing some Discord folks online. I'm looking at the chat there and the discussion channel. Awesome. Good to see everybody there and that we have a connection with our audience.
We always have a connection. Okay, let me go ahead and share this.
It'll be fun to see how quickly people manage to figure out how to get on Twitter Spaces.
So yeah, no, Twitter Spaces is a really interesting thing. It's super useful. It's great for engaging with the community. It's a massive, colossal pain in the ass because I have to get off my nice computer-based sound rig and put these stupid little headphones in and whatnot. But generally speaking, it works pretty well. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Give it a few
Are
minutes.
you all set up, Jason? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all set up. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Absolutely. We've got the main account here has joined. They are going to be requesting to be a speaker as well. So let's get them on here. And that will get it out to everyone. And we're here on Twitter, which is, as I have been told many, many times on Twitter, ironically, is going to be collapsing at any second. Hopefully that does not.
Right.
It's any second now, everyone. It's gonna all go collapsing. And yeah, so should be fun. And I'm gonna go ahead and be watching the comments here. And yes, Ankit, this is the first AMA for the Townstar game team on Twitter. So lots and lots of fun new things coming. And yes, I do agree that it is good for bringing more people into the space and into the game.
Okay, I think I've got set up. Townstar people, I put a link in the AMA.
Yeah, Michelle, please mute yourself. If you're not speaking, please mute yourself because I'm hearing like cupboards opening and it sounds your cupboard sounds like a scary witch. like the
That was my squeaky desk chair.
like,
I need some WD-40 or something.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. We can deal with that. So if you're a speaker and you're not actively speaking, just make sure you mute yourself so it keeps it clean and nice for everybody.
Yeah, so I'm assuming someone is here also reading questions on Twitter. We're also reading questions on Discord, everybody, so we can try to capture, both sets of questions and notes. What do you say? Seems like it's time to get started. What do you guys think?
Let's kick it off. Let's do it.
We all ready? All right. So welcome everybody to our first Townstar AMA on Twitter Spaces. We are super excited to be here. As we talked about way back in July, we're going to be, we've just been doing these things every single week, give you the news, the information, what's going on, answer questions, give leaks, share videos, all that kind of stuff. And today we're super lucky to have Bitbender join us, who always has a plethora of interesting things and news to share. So and Michelle is our MC. So Michelle, why don't you go ahead and kick us off, and let's start going through our agenda today.
Yeah, we'll start how we usually do, going over what kind of stuff happened in the Townstar Live game this week. We had the Energy Meta competition started on Tuesday. In case anyone out there is new, you do need to be in the competition server to take part in our competitions. They are every other Tuesday, 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time is when they start. The prizes rotate between Gala and NFTs. It's a good time. Definitely come check it out if you haven't yet. This week we had some bug fixes go in on Tuesday. We had some priority issues with the spooky windmill in the big warehouse, but those are all fixed now. We also fixed a production monitor, got a nice update, so the numbers are way more accurate now than they used to be. Our Halloween farmer has left us for the regular farmer again since Halloween is now over. And that's really about it for bug fixes and stuff this week.
That's cool. Resource, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
I feel like Farmer Michelle pretty much nailed it. We definitely broke our backs this week to have a really cool and exciting release for you coming out next week. It's in QA. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
That reminds me, next week's update will not be on Monday. We're shooting for Wednesday. Because of the holiday, we're going to try to get some extra stuff in. So don't expect it Monday like usual.
That's cool. Are we going to be maybe hearing some leaks about that later in our?
I'm sure we will.
Cool. What's next?
Volcron, do you want to jump in and say anything about what you've been doing?
I sure do. Let me lead with a video so people have time to download it. I'm going to post it in Discord.
And as we post it in Discord, let's also go ahead and Rachel, if you could drop it as a reply to this on Twitter too, that would be awesome. So everyone can see it there as well.
Awesome. Good idea. All right. So that's posted. Yeah, it's a ton of stuff actually. This video just captures a little bit of it. We did some of the invisible things you can't quite see here would be the trade depot, the tune-ups, some of the data updates saying like, can this item be sold or not sold? That's a little bit of a data update. We're also working on making the game easier to change in terms of once it goes live, the ability to change data without it being too disruptive to the flow. Meaning right now, whenever we change the meta, it's a fair amount of work for the team to publish it and test it and all that. And we're doing a significant amount of work to make sure that we've got the tools and processes in place so that meta changes are almost push button. So that'll be nice. Features. We added more improvements to crafting, stock crafting, added more crafts in there. You might see some of that in the video. NFTs and their placement, and tracking and rotation, storage. I've got some sugar storage in part of the vid, and a ton more NFTs in the game as well. You will also see the leaderboard, the UI in there. It's all, there's no legendary SK in this one. We've got a bunch of different VFX. The VFX system kind of got its final tech overhaul. So now we're just implementing the data, so you can see things like the balloons come out when things complete, and wheat when it gets harvested, the cubes fly, and good stuff like that. And in the store, you'll notice my account starts off with 1 million, just in test mode, and then different store things will be available or not available depending on how much money you have. It's probably worth reminding everybody, or maybe people who haven't logged in a while, that this is all server authoritative. So if you can't spend something, you just can't spend it. So,
ooh, server authoritative. Can we talk a little bit about what that means? Because this is something that I think that a lot of people didn't quite understand about. One of the weaknesses of the sort of older Townstar Live model. The fact that it was client authoritative and exactly what that means. So while we're all here and we're actually talking about this in an audio setting on Twitter for the entire world to listen, let's talk about the difference between server authoritative and client authoritative.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm client authoritative, if I'm playing a client authoritative game, what does that mean?
Well, let's first introduce the idea of state, which is a fancy way of saying saved data. So the saved data, the state that represents your town, has to be shared between your client, let's say your web browser, and then the Gala servers, right? So if you go to put a wheat field down, that has to be saved in both places, so that next time you log into the game, that wheat field is still there. Well, in a client authoritative game, the game that you're running on your machine in your browser, you would tell our server, hey, I just placed down, a bunch of wheat. And then the server says, oh, okay, I'll save that. You placed down wheat. In a server authoritative one, your client says, hey, server, I would like to place wheat down here. And then I will repost that for you, lazy lumberjack. And then the server says, you want to place wheat here? Well, I'm not going to let you do that for reasons. Maybe you don't have enough money, or your site is frozen, or you've been banned for being a bad guy, or whatever. So server authoritative will control and authorize what you're trying to do.
Now, this is super important from a play and earn perspective, because one of the things that people figured out with the original Townstar Live is that there would be various ways that they would inject things, like change the amount of money that they had, or change the amount of a crop that they had, or things like that. Obviously, this causes massive problems and makes it so that if all of the different games that are playing and all of the different players that are playing cannot trust that's not happening on other people's accounts, it creates a lot of problems, right? A server authoritative model makes it so that can't really happen. I almost want to say at all, but I'm going to say instead, just because you never know with some things, but that makes it so it's basically impossible for that sort of thing to happen. So everyone's actually playing the same exact game with the same exact rules, and nobody's getting an unfair advantage, which is really important when you have things like competition play and you have things like play and earn mechanisms in place. It makes it so that you can do, much more complex daily challenges, because there's no way for, anyone to subvert. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add there? Jason Dunn, would you like to throw something in? I'm seeing things pop up in Slack.
I was giving him a note that his voice is kind of quiet.
So there you go.
To speak up a bit. I'll try to do the same thing, guys. This is new to us, so thanks for all the feedback about speaking louder.
Okay.
I hope I'm not too loud. And sorry, Volcron, I did not realize that was you, Jason, because I did not know the Volcron name there.
It's fine.
Do you guys mind? Do you guys mind if I do a really, really quick couple shout outs for people? I'd like to
Go for it.
I'm going to just do it anyway. I want to give a shout out to no, not really. No, you can't. Rachel probably could kick me off, but I don't think that she's silly enough to. Massive shout out here to Jake from On Chain Gaming. Glad that you are here hanging out. Satoshi Siren, Osprey, Gladiator, Colby, Carbon. Nice to see you guys. Who else do we have here? It's so interesting because I know that a lot of these people are probably Townstar people that I just don't recognize. Got Randall B there, Prapawit Sawadi Kap, NFT Blue, and that's all that it's going to show me here. It only gives me a certain number. I'm going to add that to the feature request for Elon. Anyway, continue, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to hijack things.
And guys, we're going to try to all speak loud. Well, Volcron and I will try to speak louder. So if this is helping, let us know. I think we're just going to get in all of our volumes adjusted on our various headsets and everything.
Yeah, I'm using just some Bluetooth earbuds. So try to talk louder. Try to get them. Get them. I don't know. There's no settings for these. So.
Put your mouth closer to the microphone. Volcron.
Well, bite my ears. I got it. Bite my own ears. Let's see. Well, that's close to the end of what we were going to talk about.
All right.
Just the VFX updates, and then just a ton of the backend system for making things safe and fair for everybody.
What do you guys think about the video? Anybody get a chance to look at that yet on Discord? I know it might still be posting up to Twitter right now. Waiting for a moment for people to respond. Yeah, maybe we should buy Volcron a new headset.
Let's go ahead and if somebody has seen that video and wants to comment on it here, go ahead and raise your hand, and Rachel can bring you up as a speaker really quick. This is another good way we can actually bring more people in to talk too. So, anyone have anything to say there? Satoshi Siren usually has something to say. Jake oftentimes has something to say. Diesel Doc, nice to see you here, man. Anybody? Come on, guys.
I'm watching Discord here as people are talking about which video. We posted it up a few minutes ago. Maybe somebody could reshare the link there.
I just pinned it in the channel, so anybody can now just go to the pins and find it.
Beautiful.
Well, maybe while we're waiting for more people to take a look at that and chime in, we can move on to the next portion of our AMA. Michelle, what's next?
Yeah, the first question I have is actually about the Godot game engine, and it's just when can we expect Townstar on the Godot engine to launch?
Ooh, I tell you what, we're at the point where we can't. Well, we're not ready to disclose yet, but we agreed that on the first week of December we'll share a date with everybody. And what does that mean? That means by that point we're going to have super clarity that the date we share is rock solid. And we're pretty excited. I keep wanting to share it out early, but as our producer crew talks to me, they just want to make sure that we really get everything nailed down and locked down before we share that, so we don't disappoint everybody. And I'm going to leave it at that. But we do have some good news, some very, very interesting news that I want to share related to WENS, because I know people keep asking about the light paper that we're creating. We are so achingly close to having that out for release. Bitbender, you've been doing a little bit of, updating, editing, helping us with that. Do you want to share a bit?
Yeah, sure. A little bit of hammering on it, I guess. Guess you could say. It's got quite a bit of data in it, and it's got one of the things that I think is really important about these sorts of things is you really want to show sort of the intent and what you're working towards. Now, as you guys know, okay, those of you who have listened for a long time, we tend not to do like light paper / roadmap things, but I think it's becoming clear that something that people really, really want to understand how the game is going to work better going forward into the future, and what the various ecosystem components of that game look like. So this is what we're aiming for with this particular iteration of this publication. I think we're getting really close to having the all of the text completely finalized and all of that, and then I think it just needs to go to the graphical team for a bit of layout and polishing, and then we'll be able to push it out there. Those of you who are in Gala Gold, we may give you guys a little bit of a preview of it in sort of the rough, unformatted doc format, just so you guys have something to look at and read while we're getting to the point where we do the full release. As long as that's okay with you, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah,
like I said,
it should be pretty cool.
Achingly close. We've told you about it. I wanted to announce it last week. I think it was good that I didn't, because we got a little bit more work to do. But it's so close, and I'm actually excited because I think it has the right combination of detailed information plus a little bit of kind of extra description for people about what's going on, what to expect. So I'm really excited, and thank you, Bitbender, for helping us get this thing out the door.
My pleasure. Always here to help.
Cool. Michelle, what's our next question?
The next question I have on here is a long question, and I'm not going to read it all, but the gist of it is, when will there be fixes to the gray screen issues that the game has for some people with the crashing?
You want me to take that one?
Yeah. Loud too.
All right. That is an engine issue. So, of course, if you've ever been to any website, whether it's a game or some whatever, your browser is only going to let it do so much. And just to keep your whole PC safe, if that particular tab is using too much CPU, sometimes even too much RAM, your browser will give you the little dead face and say, sorry, you want to wait or kill this tab. Yeah, that's really, we've profiled it. We've looked into what are the causes of that. And it's part engine and part some of the stuff we can control on the live Townstar, but those are not an issue in the port, in the Godot version. So so it'll be a fix in the Godot version.
So I think this is one of those great examples of how operating on Play Canvas right now, as Townstar, the current incarnation of Townstar does, will be dramatically improved with the release of the Godot version. This is the game is getting to the point where it is outgrowing what is possible with
totally
the current engine.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's been held back by this for a long time, and this movement to Godot, which is looking pretty freaking sweet, I gotta say, is going to be unblocking a lot of that. I think that there's been a call from some members of the community to I almost want to do the hand motion here. Make Townstar great again. We're going to make it the best game ever. It's going to be wonderful. This make Townstar great again effort, and the reality is that that's what this is doing. That's what Godot is doing. It's going to make it a much better game with a much better playing experience for people, and I can't wait. Can I be slightly spicy here for a second, guys?
Go for it.
Okay, so here's the thing: is when July 19th is when we turned off the new town emission, right?
Yeah.
And we turned off new town emission, and you were there, Mark. We did this together.
Absolutely.
We were there.
Yep.
All laying there, handling our phones and whatnot, dealing with the fallout and whatnot. And there's been just this certain little contingent of the community who have sat there and have been like, "Ha, this is terrible. They've ruined everything." And they have fun little Twitter accounts, and they like to be like, "This is day number 76 since they turned off earnings." Blah. And they just love to do that. And I'm sitting here watching the development, watching everything that's happening with Townstar, knowing what's coming. And I will tell you what, I can't fucking wait for this to come out so that all of the people who have been detractors, who have been like, oh, this is terrible, why would they do this, can see and understand exactly why this path has been taken, to see exactly why this switch has been made. Because I predict that a lot of those accounts that like to whine about things will really have a hard time showing their face after this is released in its final form. So, and I just can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it so much.
I'm just looking forward to having all of our team on one code base, something we can build on for the future.
Oh God, yeah, no, I have to say I'm hugely impressed by your entire team's ability, because what you guys don't know, guys, is that the Townstar team right now, they are building and maintaining 2 games. Okay, 2 completely separate games that they're maintaining in parity with one another. Okay, so they're working on the old Townstar. Okay, still bringing new features, still bringing new new content, all of these different things, new metas, which I know Mal helps a ton with, community helps a ton with, tons and tons of new stuff, while also building and maintaining an entirely new game that looks almost the same. And that's actually weirdly very difficult. Making it look like something completely different would probably be easier than making it look exactly the same. So just a massive, shout out to your entire team. You guys are amazing.
Oh, thanks. Well, we appreciate that. It is a kind of a tough road to hoe, so to speak, to use the Texas say. But we're super excited. I think the part of the thing that helps keep us going too is, in contrast to all the spicy people, the people in the community that are there, they're happy, they're listening, they're engaging with us. We really appreciate everybody that's kind of sticking through us as we go through this high degree of difficulty dive. But like we said, and Bitbender said, boy, this is going to be so exciting. So exciting.
Super, super exciting.
And yeah, thanks for that shout out and that aside too. Of course, we'll be ready to welcome all the spicy people back with open arms. Excited to have you, show you, yes, we are walking the talk and doing what we say we're going to do. Michelle, what's the next question on our agenda today?
The only other question here I have about the Godot game engine is it going to be in mobile first or desktop mode first, as the live game seems to be in desktop?
Yeah, we're definitely, so here's the strategy on that. Release live web desktop first. Get all the bugs out, get it solid, work through mobile web experience, get that clear. And then we'll look at other platforms, maybe iOS and Android. But having done iOS and Android games before, I know the reality is we can iterate so much faster in just the pure web world. So we'll want to get it to the place where we're feeling good before we go through that process of having to do Apple submissions or, Google submissions are easier. But we want to make sure that, like I said, we get the game really good and solid. If anybody out there has done any kind of mobile app development, you know that one of the hardest things in the world is when you have to continue to just submit your app for approval to fix small bugs. We don't want to fall into that trap.
So would you say that pushing for an app is something that you guys definitely want to do in the long run, like an actual app in the App Store?
Yeah, well, yes, we do. Now, this is, again, assuming that the ecosystem, Apple's ecosystem, Android ecosystem supports it, and they don't kind of change their strategy. But yes, definitely want to be there.
Awesome. The next question I have here is about Geary. It says, will there be a marketplace for us to trade our NFTs and resources in Geary? Having low gas fee and purpose-built marketplace can drive interest in pickup rate, is what the question says.
This is something actually Bitbender and I have been talking about.
It is indeed. Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. What I want to drive a couple different points home. The first is that it is somewhat challenging for us to maintain a marketplace internally. Okay. We definitely want there to be a marketplace. We want to see a marketplace where users can go and work on Jiri and all of that. But it needs to be something that is probably built externally from our organization as a whole. So what we'll likely do is we will likely have essentially a grant program of some sort that would allow somebody from within the community who has a strong familiarity with marketplace construction and decentralization and all of these things to build something, and then we would assist and potentially send traffic in that way, but probably not something that we would want to do completely internally. It's definitely, absolutely 100% something we want to see done, though. I want to be very clear about that. We want there to be a marketplace. We want it to be easy. We want it to be something that allows people to trade. I know that a lot of players trade back and forth based on different metas. And I know that, increasing in OpenSea fees was something that a lot of people got upset about for that reason. In the long term, I think that there's a few different components that will make some of that easier. One part of that will be a marketplace that users can use on Jiri. Another large part of that is very likely going to be a program where people can borrow NFTs from one another to compete with each other in the meta. Jiri is designed with that, so you can, just like you see with Spider Tanks right now, you can lock an NFT on chain and delegate usage of that NFT to another account. So that's something that we would like to see as well, and that would probably help fill a little bit of that role. So there's a lot coming in that direction, and it's definitely something we want to lean into, but it's something that we want to lean into in a way that that is good for the entire community and for the company as well.
Well said. Well said. You guys know we've been talking about the marketplace for a while. I don't know, maybe a month or so. And Bitbender is really helping make sure that actually comes into reality. So really excited about that. I want to jump, Michelle, before we jump in, I wanted to the next question. I wanted to raise up something that you had actually just answered inside of Discord. We have been, so if you hear us now when we talk about Townstar, moving Townstar to Godot, we talk about a Townstar Godot. You might hear us say Townstar Live Godot versus Townstar Forever. We talked about this last week. About a month ago or so, I started realizing it was going to take us a little bit longer to get Townstar Forever, the full feature set, persistent towns, everything out the door than we wanted. And so I sat down with the team and we talked about it, and we said, let's get the current version of the game, Townstar Live, out on Godot with all the foundational elements in it, running your town offline, all those kind of things, but get that into people's hands quickly. And a couple of reasons. One is so that everybody can get it and have fun with it. And, we don't have to deal with the cheaters as much and all the client authoritative stuff. But the other piece is so that we can have all parts of the team working on just one code base, developing new features and everything, and ultimately accelerate that process. So that's what we're going to be delivering as we come up with this announcement, and we're going to launch it the first week of December. We're going to have effectively all of the current Townstar Live features in there, NFTs, everything working, plus a few new things. So just wanted to clarify that, because we have been saying Townstar Forever. Now we're switching to Townstar Godot, which will then just eventually wrap in all the Forever features too. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody.
I think it made sense.
Okay. If not, Michelle will keep answering in the community. I'll be in there too. You can ask me more questions on it. But the whole big thing is I want to get this code base and this game experience out to people as soon as possible.
The next question that I have here says, since gems were leaked again in Volcron's photos, is there any date on their utility, cost, or how they can be obtained?
Gems. Gems was the biggest feature that was announced even before I started at Gala. It will be part of the forever feature set. That's all we can say about it right now. You got to see a little bit of extra stuff in Volcron's video. You'll see that as time comes out, and we're kind of launching Townstar Godot. You're not going to see that in there, but eventually we'll bring it back.
Awesome. The next question I have here is, it's kind of a design question, but I think it's more for this current live game that we're running. It says, how is the auto cell being fixed to handle Express Depot, Dragon, and Freight Pier? I know people were having issues with them all selling at the same time. I think they've reached like max rate of our in-game auto trade.
Yeah, who wants to take that? Volcron? Mal?
I mean, I'd see this as an engine issue, and I think once we're on the new engine, that won't be an issue. It was a lot more difficult getting the auto cell in and having it function more intelligently with all the different trade units. So the new engine, I think Volcron can speak to probably it being much easier or probably more likely to see a better logic auto cell that doesn't have these silly trade limits. One goes, one has to wait and stuff like that.
You guys want a spoiler, or
go for it?
Spoiler.
Go for it, Tom Holland.
All right, auto trade is being. This was one of the clever ideas from one of our devs. It's effectively the same as any other craft, except that it takes in whatever you're selling and it outputs money. So a lot of the bugs with given that the crafting system is already done and it works and it's reliable, then making auto trade part of that was a very smart way to reuse that code and make it testable the same way the crafting system is. So a lot of the bugs in the live version of the game around auto trade kind of came as different features were tacked on to the game. It's no fault really of the devs in particular. It was just the timing of the way that stuff came in. So starting fresh with this one, it's very clean. It's a small amount of code. It's very reliable. So yeah, it's not a concern anymore.
Cool. And just a quick note, is Volcron still low in your guys on the audio for you guys? Or is it me that's still low? Or both of us still low? Saw some notes from Dash out there. Another quick answer for people who are asking about your NFTs and moving on Townstar Godot. Will you do you have to translate them over to Jiri? No, we're going to give you the choice. Now, as we said before, when you do move over to Jiri, there'll be more features because we'll be able to add more functionality to them, to change the format a bit. But we don't want to make people have to do it. Just give you the option. So there you go. So Anna, hopefully that answers your question. And thanks, Dubstep, for jumping in there as well.
Another question we got this week, which we were not 100% sure what the question was about. It just says, what about stacking storage NFT? I don't know if anybody in the chat has any idea what that actually means, or if anyone wants to try to answer it.
Yeah, so I thought it might have been just around storages, either that being upgradable or one of the, I was just sort of throwing random ideas out in chat, so I wasn't sure if it was maybe that, but, about like a hot air balloon storage is a silly example that could go above a smaller building to sort of give you there's two storage on one tile or two buildings, one tile. They were just off the cuff comments anyway, not planned, but if it's stuff like that, Sage has said multiple times that, with the Giri version of the NFTs, when it's moved over, there'd be like advanced features. So there's plenty of different spaces, pun intended, regarding the storage design. So, I would, if it's around that, I would expect to see, fun stuff.
Bringing Townstar into the Z-axis. I like that.
Yes, build up and out. The giant-sized towns that we'll be able to have. We got 2 new opportunities, and then also the subgrid placement too. Like I said, I'm super excited about it. So a lot of new building and arranging options.
Awesome. The next question I have here is there a possible return of weekly competitions?
Who wants to take that?
That for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've mentioned this before, but I certainly hope to have more and more competitions, weekly competitions for starters, but also having one-off special occasion events, sometimes a one-day event, a bunch of different things that we're bringing over from mobile games that work really great there. So yeah, definitely trying to get more and more competitions for you guys.
Yeah, some Boney Chill said biweekly is not bad though. Yeah, we kind of agree on that. It's working out well for us. Wow, looks like King Drac had something to say. That actually, Michelle, if you want to jump to that question number 6, I think it'd be great to have bring that one up and talk about it right now.
Yeah, the question is just about the world map. I know I had told some people in the chat last night as well that we would take a minute to talk about how the new land rush process might work and what was going to happen with the world map and all that.
So yeah, we got Malin and Musashi. You want to share about that?
Yes.
Sure.
So, you want to go first, Musashi?
Sure. So we have languages who have a world map in the current version. So I did a game design assessment on this and was like, well, this is generating some problems. We were checking out the land rush the other day, and there were many people that were very frustrated, saying, well, I'm not playing this week. So we're trying to append that a little bit. I can't go into all the details, but we're trying to make it more fair. So we have a design plan for replacing the world map and the land rush features in different phases. So the first version you'll see will be a little bit more, will be very bare bones, but we'll basically say here everyone starts with a certain map, so everyone gets exactly the same, and then over time we'll add more features to that in a planned way to make it more fun and have more options and so on. I see in the chat that there are people asking about will the UFO be useless? No, because you'll still have there will still be cities to sell to. So basically, you'll have the same functionality, but you won't have these limited spots that you have right now that some people grab, and sometimes you have bots to fight against, which is not
Nobody
ideal,
likes
right?
bots.
Yeah.
Nobody likes bots at all. Just a quick, really little shout out here to BT. Hey man, see you're listening. Hope you are enjoying your day. Got a lot of people in here now. Actually, that's fantastic. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to say hi to BT. That's all.
Yeah. So around the world map, land rush, and the utility around the NFTs with that. So I'll address that one. So you've heard words like fair there and all stuff like that, and then I know what that makes it feel like for certain NFTs, and I just want to clear all that up now and explain that in a little bit more detail. So people do not like land rush because it's fairly intense sometimes, but how it's the strategy that comes from that spot you pick. It has a massive knock-on effect of the strategies that you're going to use. That's over time become really embedded in Townstar. So how does the strategy remain? The things that you've own now, basically, because of these strategies, a lot of people are in the same position. The UFOs just mentioned. So I believe that those particular things, NFTs that are related around land rush or the knockoff side effect because of it, I think you will absolutely see more. I believe there'll be much more strength in that utility, and I'll explain why. So, as Musashi said, you've got you come to a page basically that have all the rules of the competition on, which we don't have now, which would be nice. Before you click play, you can actually have a look. You go in. Let's just say we're at the point where there's 3 choices, A, B, and C. One's got a mountain, one's got a river, one's got an ocean. Pros and cons to all 3 of those. They're all going to each have their own gasoline cost for distance. So the really good option might have a high gas start. There's the trade timers. So you've got your trade timers and your gas cost attached to the spot that you pick, which is still just the same as it is now in terms of how important that is. To think in terms of strategy, what if none of the options had a river? That means nobody got a river, so it's fair in that sense. But now passive water NFTs, for example, are highly, highly useful in these situations. If there's no oceans, but it's a cake meta, for example, you find yourself in that position where, your haunted zone 3 is critical, and it just keeps going in the sense of the strategy still remains. The best spot might have a high trade timer. So if you're a UFO owner, you never have to worry about factoring in the trade times into your spot selection, which is obviously the big thing with the world map now is you're looking for those spots you can take advantage of because of certain NFTs that you own. And that still remains, especially in terms of, high gas cost places with the haunted NFTs. It just keeps rolling over in terms of all the new strategies that we can add in as well. Me and Musasi had a great conversation, and I was able to request some additional tools. Some of the fun ones, like being able to change the gas cost per craft. So some things cost more gas to use. Some things take longer to sell just because that particular craft is set to sell slower, regardless of you got a 1 gas 30-second trade time spot, but now you're dealing with the fact that there's an 8-minute trade timer to sell the thing you want to sell. So UFOs, express depots, all these NFTs become critical. And it's just these type of things that I'm looking forward to. Another one was a modifier on the gas used, for example. So if you choose trickier spots, you might be able to get more points from, selling in these more difficult choices that are given. So it's all about pros and cons, and that's how the strategy's always been, and they remain. And I believe that the NFTs you've got now based around Landrush, or because it exists, will only get even more useful. So I hope that clears that up.
Yeah, I want to go into a little bit of detail unless Sage Maker wants to stop me. But I see a comment from S2 Anna saying, but then everyone will have the same options, right? Example, if these are cost and gas, everyone who picks desert will have the same gas forever. So the thing is that we're developing this in phases. The first step will be to give everyone the same map. We're hoping that will take very little time, and then we'll have what Mal is saying, which we're going to have some randomization and some options. Like we'll offer everyone 3 options and so on. We can also fix some of them. Like we can say, you can randomize all your options, but everyone gets always an ocean to the east or something like that. So we're trying to get the best out of the current features that you have and make the best use of your NFTs and keep them being very powerful, while also removing all of the negative effects that World Map is basically doing to the game right now. So hopefully the best of both worlds, and trying to add more and more functionality and options for you guys.
Yeah, I want to jump in here real quick, and thanks guys for sharing that. Hopefully my volume is better now because I'm talking into my phone instead of a headset. But what Musashi mentioned there and Mal were both talking about is the team is threading the needle, so to speak. We know there's a bunch of functionality that people love and like. We know there's a bunch of problems that come along with that functionality, and it's actually an extra little bit of trickier level of design to be going, how do we keep all the good stuff that we've had before, at the same time eliminate the bad stuff, but make people feel like, yes, this is actually a better overall answer. So there's been a lot of work on that, discussions in the team. How do we do this? What do we save? And I think the answer that they've come up with really works. And I'm excited because it's going to give just so much more design space for us to work with in terms of terrain and landscape and the land in the game. So it's pretty powerful. So any more design questions? Michelle, are we ready to move on to some other stuff?
We can move on to other stuff. I feel like that was a very long, very awesome discussion. So
Yeah.
people probably got what they were hoping for.
let's look at maybe leaks. Is it time for leaks or something else?
Yeah. Yeah,
What do we
the
got?
one question that I have about leaks here just says, tell us more about bicycles.
So the bicycle craft. So there's a few new crafts coming just in terms of Christmas and New Year, and as we like bringing new crafts in. And bicycle is one of the Christmas crafts. I don't know why it was a bicycle. It just feels like a really good choice. The big fun part about all the new crafts is the mystic matter that's tied in. So I often like doing ingredients or then making other things ingredients, if anyone ever pays attention. It's really fun finding a middle level ingredient that has to be factored into everything, or and this is the really fun part, I think, about some of the Christmas crafts, the mystic matter. I can leak. So first of all, I've already leaked with the bicycle. People have been asking for a long time now. They want something that uses blue steel. So it's going to include blue steel, but it's also going to have mystic matter as well. What is mystic matter? Well, it's going to be made up by the Wizard's Workshop, who obviously was created by the Master Wizard, and he'll be there also in his own building. But for now, Wizard's Workshop, you'll have your mystic matter. This is going to be combined up of cotton yarn. So everyone take note. There was a fabric plant recently, and you're probably going to need those for a whole bunch of crafts. So you'll probably have fabric plants placed down very often. But you've got your cotton yarn. You've got glue. This is another new craft that I want to bring into the game. Glue is one of those really great things that we can use. And it's not done in that sort of industrial, horrible way. It's one of those nice, clean ways to make the glue. But you'll be needing that as well, just so you know. And there's another secret ingredient that I will not leak yet in making Mystic Matter. But yeah, you're going to need that for things like bicycles and a bunch of the other Christmas crafts. We've got a New Year's craft in there. I believe that one's called Boom Canes. So they'll be the Town Star version of fireworks, also clean because they're mystical and magical. So we can look forward to a bunch of Christmas crafts and the crafts that they allow us to do afterwards, deep into the new year.
So Mal, I'm hearing a bit of a subtext there. Eco-friendly, clean, the nice way, and mystical, magical, not messy.
Yeah, so, it's useful when wizards come to town because they don't need the same things you might need to make something. And they can make these wonderful creations from a sort of strange alchemy, you might say. So that's the beauty of they can do it in the clean, amazing way and still produce the same product.
I cannot express to you how happy it makes me to hear you talking about this, Mal. Everything just sounds so much more magical when you say it. I just have to say.
Say gasoline.
Gasoline or just gas.
Yeah. You mean magical go juice? That?
There you go.
Yeah. So we actually had a conversation around how, just a couple of name changes and it's all magical. It's all clean.
Yes, Jimmy 211. You don't have to raise horses for glue. That's horrible. Because we have wizard magic glue. Whatever Mal's going to make, that special kind of glue.
Yeah, no. The day that Townstar sells a rendering plant as an NFT is the day that I put in my resignation, just so we're clear.
Yeah, we actually picked that up way back in this other game I made a long time ago called Farmville. We had, really, the cows give milk, horse give horse hair, right? It's good, happy stuff like that. We're going to stay on that path.
Yeah, you'll need, just think of your beehives anyway. It's a nice, eco-friendly way to raise glue.
Super secret item from Peace of Mind, duct tape. Nice. Nice. Is that it on the leaks? Is that it on? Do we have any other sort of news?
Well, I can share the sale.
Oof, okay.
We got the Monday sale coming. That's is it still on a Monday? Has nothing changed on that? Maybe just to be.
The sale is still Monday, but it won't be in game until the game update on Wednesday.
Okay, so we've got a rare winery coming. So just like the other rares that we've been doing, it's the 1 speed increase with the 20% wages. It's a Black Friday special, a pre Black Friday special sale, so it'll have 20% off the usual price. So let me just read it out so I actually get it right. It will be a $112 after the 20% off. So I think it was at $130. Was the starting price. So there's 2,000 going in the store, the same sort of rarity as the other rares that we've been doing. Winery is one of those buildings. It's got a big wages. It's fairly expensive. Being able to pick up, put down wineries is great, especially if, as things were to come, certain crafts were to include wine or things of that nature. So the winery has that great utility in the sense of you can get one up quickly and get started. If anyone's got an advanced rush, I'm sure someone would be rushing Pinot or something like that. Maybe Sangria if they're wild, but you know, the winery, this rare winery, I think, is a great little addition, and you never know when you might need one. So, is there any questions that I've missed in the chat around that? Not explained it clearly.
I haven't seen any questions pop up yet, but we do have the leak of the card there that Todd put out.
Ah, yes, the Master Todd there sharing the image of the. Is that the rare winery? Yes. So yeah, that'll be the rare winery. And then I can now already see people asking about the next meta leak.
Yeah, they're like, give us more leaks. More.
So it's a milk meta. This was the second and final community vote on the metas. We done two. We let you vote for both metas this month as a sort of thankful, you guys play them and study for these. So we let you vote on two. The first one we picked, give you a list of a bunch of previous metas. And in this one, there's so many silly ones that get thrown out there that we wouldn't normally do as a meta. So we put those on the list and let you hash it out. I thought the results were very interesting. I think like wine bottles, ceramic bowls, and I think wool yarn were very close. If you'd have removed milk from it, it was interesting to see those results. But milk won by a good bit. Milk's been probably at least 12, 13, 14 months. A long time of people asking for milk metas anyway. So the milk metas arrived. I'm not going to give you all the information yet. You'll have to drag that out of me over the week. So find me in Discord. I often read and don't speak and just lurk and then pop up. I like doing that. So
you pop up with that creepy Palantine picture, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me laugh.
It's queued up there, ready just for when I see a moment to drop in. But I will say things like, an ATV might be a luxury. There might not be a cash boost. So cows might be, a little bit more expensive. There's all kinds of fun stuff. I did explain we didn't have as much time to plan and get this one because of just the nature of us preparing early and trying to get things sorted just so everything goes smoothly. So couldn't go as creatively, as evil as some people call it. So I'd say I don't know whether you got lucky or not lucky on this one. So it's not that many changes, but I do think it would make it for a spicy milk meta anyway.
There's some extra notes in there. Some good cow notes. Drinking milk out of the fridge. I think that's all Mal can say right now on this leak. Like you said, just you have to kind of drag the rest out of him on that. There is one thing I wanted to share, and Michelle, you're kind of hitting up some notes there about somebody started questions: are the leaderboards going to be accurate? And the answer is right now they're accurate, aside from cheater removal. Of course, we go and then remove the cheaters. But when we move to the Townstar Godot version and we're running on the new engine, it is server authoritative, so they'll dramatically reduce the number of cheaters, make our jobs easier in terms of finding the cheaters. So that's going to be a big boost. But as Michelle says, I've made games for almost 30 years now. There's no way to continually just stop every single cheater dead and cold, because people just seem to have a lot of time and energy they want to put into figuring out new ways to exploit a game. But the reason I'm so excited about Godot, another reason I'm so excited is because having worked on client authoritative games in the past, anybody remember the game Subspace by Virgin Interactive? I was actually working on that. I just know that our time and energy that we have to spend dealing with cheaters, keeping the community safe, will drop tremendously. And the benefit for players on that, besides not having cheaters, is that we get to develop more features. We're not having to always fight and deal with cheaters. So, yes, you can look forward to that thick MK7 to a much better experience. Now, I think we're through our agenda. Is there any last questions in the community you guys want to pose up besides, asking Mel to give more leaks? And I haven't been checking Twitter. Rachel, have you seen anything inside of Twitter that we should address? Any questions popping up there?
Yeah, there are a few people that have their hand raised. So when you're ready, I'll start pulling them up.
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Also, just as a quick note for everybody, there is going to be a stream coming up on Tuesday. Those of you who have known me for a while know that I don't usually have much time to play games. And so I believe Michelle is going to be teaching me how to play Townstar, because I honestly just have not had the chance to learn lately. So on Tuesday, we'll be releasing the exact times for that, but it's going to be, it should be fun. Jake is here. Hey, Jake, how you doing, man?
Hey, it's going well. Thanks for bringing me up. I just wanted
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here. I just wanted to say big ups to the whole team. I feel like you guys are like Steve Jobs working at Atari on multiplayer Pong or something. Like breaking brand new ground. It's really exciting.
Oh, thanks. And it's always great to hear people's encouragement. It matters so much for the team.
Yeah, no, I know it's not always easy, especially in markets like this, but you guys are doing something really awesome, and I think it's going to be so good for gamers. And even though gamers aren't really appreciative of it yet, I feel like largely they just don't know what they don't know, right? And I think you guys are doing something really, really awesome, and it's gonna make the world a lot better in the long run. So I just wanted to let you guys know how appreciative I am.
We appreciate that, man. And Kasem, one of the team members here, just posted in our internal AMA chat is that he discovered Gala from one of your videos 14 months ago, and the rest is history. So
awesome.
you have helped build this too. I appreciate everything that you've done here.
Yeah, no, as a creator, I can only do so much though. So it's amazing that you guys who have the expertise are actually putting in the hours. Like I can help tell people about what's going on, but you guys are actually building it. And the ideas would just be ideas if it wasn't for you guys. So you're making them reality, and that's amazing.
Oh, thanks so much. Sure, the team really loves hearing that. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you, guys. That's all I wanted to say.
Thanks, man.
Morning, everybody.
Hey, Bo, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. So yeah, my name's Bo. I go by Master Oiguft. I'm probably one of the most dry-humored and witty, not witty guy in the chat there. So I apologize for anybody that takes offense. I mean it all in jest, just so everyone knows. But hey, I just wanted to agree with those sentiments there. You guys are building an amazing space. I work 8 to 5. Most people work a 9 to 5. I work at 8 to 8, but I call it 8 to 5. It makes me feel better. And I can actually play this game. I can actually do it and sustain a life outside of it. So that is phenomenal. I have to say that's another amazing talent you guys have brought to the table here. So definitely want to shout out that to you guys. This is an amazing community and amazing options for, getting away from the grind and grind something else. So
Thanks, man. We appreciate that. I completely empathize with the 8 to 8, but I call it an 8 to 5 because it makes me feel better. You're speaking my language, man.
Right on. Well, hey, I did have a couple things. Earlier in the beginning, you guys had said if there was some comments about the video. I watched the video, and I do have a couple comments about that. They're positive, of course. So, yeah, so one, please, 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 and please, I know I said that a lot too many times, do not take away the blowing up of buildings. That is my favorite, most savory thing in the game. And I saw in the video when a building was being taken away, I think it didn't blow up and pieces didn't go everywhere. And I know that might be a really hard thing to code in, but please, I love it when it goes boom and stuff goes, I'm a little pyro inside, just saying. So
I think that's actually just because the effects haven't been done yet.
Oh, okay. Right on.
You're seeing in development work. So, Volcron, you want to confirm that?
Yeah, that's right. That's part of the VFX.
Okay.
Excellent.
Coming.
So you will still have your exploding buildings.
Yes. All right. Sorry to have the little things in life, but that's all we got some days, right? So but yeah, there's that, and then also I'm loving the stacked buildings. I'm loving all the different options. I love the fact that that animation and artwork goes into all the different things. So in the video there, I saw how you can shift in the rotating, and then the placement and the smooth actions of moving around. So I'm really excited to get in there and push the limit.
Oh, good. Oh, did you drop off?
Nope, sorry, I got a video chat call request. I just denied it.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like that. The engineering team has spent a lot of time making that smooth and look good. And then, of course, we have the help from Godot itself, which is I think it's just a much better rendering engine and performance engine. So, yeah, that's just another reason we're excited to be on Godot.
Right on. Well, one last thing in closing I'd like to say is, once again, shout out to everybody in the community here. I want to do some shout out to some good gaming friends of mine as well that I game with a lot. Citizen, Crypto G, Tara, Rick, Stir. There's a bunch of other people. I don't see them. I'm rolling through to try and call out some people. Definitely all the people, the town guide, all the other community members, everybody. You guys are all awesome. Really appreciate y'all. And I'll get off the stage here.
Okay, well, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Appreciate you for taking the time to swing by. Well, everyone, shall we call it? I know I have to get off to go do some other stuff here, but
yeah, real work.
Real work.
Actually, this is all work, but yeah, there's some meetings and stuff that we all have to jump back onto. Any last questions or last notes from folks on the stage? Anything we missed that we have to share?
I don't see anything.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wrap. Vipin, do you want to take us out?
Yeah, sure. How do you feel? How do you feel about Let's see if we can make sure that we get that paper released by Monday. I think that's a target that we can hit. How do you feel about that, Mark?
I'm totally for that. Did we just have a leak, an unplanned leak?
Yeah,
community?
I think we can probably do that. I think we can make that happen. So there. Let's use that as the rollout here. So thank you guys so much for joining all of us here. We really appreciate it. As you know, Townstar was the first game that was on the Gala platform, and while we do have a bunch of other games coming out here and stuff hitting hard and fast, I think you guys are beginning to see that. We promised you lots of games, and lots of games are coming. Townstar will always have a special place in our heart, and is always going to be something we continue to push the limits with. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and be sure to listen in another 2.5 hours. I will be doing an AMA with the Last Expedition team. We've got a whole pile of amazing leaks coming there for that as well. So thank you guys so much, and enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Bitbender. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in Discord. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. Peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.